I am now a Continental Army representative within the Continental Army. Actually, that sounds kind of weird. I'm now a Rifles representative in the House? Rifles representative in the House! Keep in mind that as of writing this video, I've only ever been to one meeting, yet I still have enough content to make a full video on this. So, here's what it's like being a CA representative. First off, what does it mean to be a CA rep? Well, basically, I get to make bills and also vote on bills within the CA. So almost like that one roll and average roleplay game, except I also get to make laws and I also vote on more than just laws. So kind of not like that one roll and average roleplay game. So what do you actually do as a CA rep? Well, as I said, you make bills and vote on bills. It's simple, really. Even though it's only the first week and the first meeting of me doing this, there are already a lot of bills that are being voted on, and I just want to show some highlights of those right now. How I'll do this is, first I'll talk about what the bill is, and then I'll just go into the good parts of the meeting when we discuss the bill. The first bill that we went over is actually my own bill. I just propose that we clarify what counts as exploiting or not, such as the tab glitch where you click and hold the taskbar while you're in window mode, as this freezes your character in midair, which could potentially change an outcome of a push in a match. There are other glitches that this would cover, like lag jumping, high jumping, and wall hopping, but those are just the main ones.
There's one thing you need to do when writing a bill, and that is adding yourself to the card you have written. So, as Golden Knight did very, very good on his card that he has written on his bill, he added himself to his bill. So, thumbs up to Mr. Golden Knight, you get credits. Well done.
Go ahead, how do you expect it to be enforced when it can just as easily, like what this is more referring to, the part about, you know, lag jumping and freezing in there, right? When it can just as easily be left up to lag and you're having a bad ping as the server's on the other side of the planet and that kind of thing.
Well, if it is lag, like if someone's bullet dodging and then they lag, which causes them to lag in midair, is what I'm assuming you're referring to. Well, it would kind of have to be dealt with on a case-by-case basis, so if someone's ping is often off in that certain server's region, then it could be excused. But yes, to answer your question, it would be a case-by-case basis. I just classified this as an edit to the rules, so it would just be along with the regular punishments for glitching. Again, I'm not adding anything new per se, I'm just revising it so that the rules are more clear as to what glitching would entail.
Then this bill shall be concluded. We've talked long enough for this bill.
Another one is about military police reforms, where they want to change out NJPs, non-judicial Jeez, I cannot say that. Non-judicial punishments. Yep, there we go. As they propose that we all use a ruling of how many NJPs we give when someone does a certain crime. If you don't know, which I don't blame you, I bet only 5 of you that are watching this are currently in the CA, NJPs are a way for people to punish other people who have committed crimes without writing an actual report, hence the name. Now back to the bill. I disagree with this bill because the whole point of NJPs for me is for the person giving the NJPs to choose how many they want to give as a punishment. So if you were to take that aspect away, then there would almost be no point to them. This person, who made almost all of these bills and is the Speaker of the House, suggests that we have the people of CA vote on bills and rules themselves. I'm against this bill because I could just buy hundreds of emails to vote on an option that I want, and then the option gets picked just because of me, which obviously just wouldn't work.
So, for my understanding, this bill is basically a way to do referendums. Is that so?
It is, yeah. But basically, we have a bill, and you want a public opinion. Okay, then we put a vote up, and we get votes for it. That's basically all it does.
My only gripe with this bill is, well, I mean, there's multiple, but the only downside I see is there's nothing stopping people, assuming this would get voted on a lot. I don't think it will, but I'm referring to bills voted by people. There could be a movement, let's say, of people only declining bills, which could possibly prevent this function from being used and possibly would be abused by the people voting on these bills. Do you have anything in place to prevent that from happening if it does happen?
Yes, like I said, we have an amendment. We can just say, okay, this is a dummy vote, so the vote doesn't count. If we say, okay, bills are getting denied, more often and more often we just say, okay, this phone can't deny or fail bills, right? This bill is, or this vote is only to check what the community thinks. And if we see the same people always denying it, we know, okay, these guys are trolling. Okay, let's just remove them from voting, right? Because we can on the CA and XPC side. We can. Going once, going twice. Alright, this bill shall be moved to legislation, and in 24 hours this bill closes. You may vote now. And after these 24 hours, a final decision will be taken by the Senate. And if the Senate passes it, it will be finalized and implemented.
This bill proposes that in the game, the Battle of Bunker Hill, that the civilian team is able to kill other teams without them being forced onto a team themselves. I also decline this bill because if it were to be passed, then instead of the Continental Army versus the British Army, with civilians being neutral in the middle, it would just be the Continental Army versus the British Army versus civilians, which is not really the point of that team. This person also brought up the point that if civilians wanted to fight for a team, they should just join that team, which pretty much summarizes why this bill is a bad idea. Next bill. This bill just wants to revise the drill handbook so that commands are more clear. Yeah, that's pretty simple, so I voted yes for that one. This bill wants HQ to go over every single bill so that they can veto them right away rather than them veto the bills after they've been voted on in the House. I voted no for this one because it would take up too much of their time because, you know, they're so busy all the time. They're not. And it's our job as representatives to vote on the bills anyway, so having HQ do that for us would ruin the whole point of that.
So what you need to understand, Gold, is that we still will be doing our jobs, but instead of us always proposing bills to the Senate will also be proposing bills to us. And it basically gets us to be an even body, while the Senate is still able, when is needed, to accept bills and deny bills. Also when HK members proposes bills to the House, we still will be discussing their bills and we will be revising it if needed, and we will send them back to the Senate to either agree or disagree with the bills that we have rewritten or revised or agreed with, etc.
You would just make them into more representatives, is what you're saying. Or actually,
Yeah.
You're essentially acting like, okay, that makes more sense to me now. Thank you.
Hey, no worries, Gold. Thank you for speaking. So, just like Emeka stated, we just want HQ members to be actual representatives in the House. That's all we are going to do. I think we talked long enough about this bill, so this bill shall be moved to legislation. In 24 hours, a final decision will be taken.
This bill wants there to be a Human Rights Act within the CA, and I actually voted no on this just because there were a lot of inconsistencies that I listed here. In these inconsistencies, you might have noticed that I recommended that slavery should be taken out of the Human Rights Act because of the definition of a person who does work with no pay, which almost everyone in the CA would then be a slave, so that just wouldn't make sense to include.
I will make the amendments if needed, and I will write everything you noted down into the bill, and I will amend that fully. Thank you for speaking, Lord. I appreciate
thank
it.
you.
We'll reword it correctly. Alright, this bill shall be moved to legislation as soon as it is amended. Therefore, we shall now move on to the next bill.
Next bill proposes that we allow the CA to get rid of the House of Representatives, and my only comment to that is just, why would we even give them the chance? Which definitely does not sound corrupt at all, especially since I voted no on this bill.
Point at any time. Vlad, do you wish to speak?
Okay. Can you hear me? I'm kind of sick, so. Yeah, no. No. Let me tell you why no. And normally I don't insert myself into these things, but I'm glad I'm attending this meeting because you all would have probably created this bill and I would have vetoed it. And let me tell you why. For those of you who don't know, Iron is dead. So making him the only person to do anything anymore. Well, all right, let me retract a little bit. He's not literally dead, for those of you who are a little brain dead. But he, in a sense, does not care about what is actively going on in this community anymore. And so giving him sole command of anything isn't an option anymore. Not even the database or development. It's just not an option. It will die. If he is the only person to have a say in it, it will die. That's that simple. It doesn't get any more simple than that. So The reason this would be vetoed is because it takes power directly away from anyone else and gives it to the hands of someone who doesn't even do anything for his own group anymore.
No worries. Average thought about that too. So within the bill, what is specified is that when the community, say a community-wide vote will be issued, if 55% of the community agrees to the removal of the house, a vote shall be cast within the Senate. If the Senate then agrees the removal of the house fit, the house shall be removed.
I'm gonna be quite honest with you here. All right, I'm gonna put you all in a scenario. Is that okay? Okay, so I'm the general. You all are all aware of that, right? Let's say I were just to up and one day remove the house. Who's gonna do something about it?
The court.
I created the court. So who's gonna do something about it? I'm saying like this is all set up to have checks and balances. Yes, sure. But who's gonna stop me from doing anything I want? Not saying that. Now I know that sounds very corrupt, but it's the reality. Who's gonna stop me from doing anything I want? No one. Correct. Good answer. So we can set these rules up how we want, right? We can try to make it seem like these rules are even above me, but the truth is, it's just some false reality because no rule is above me. Not like you can go to Iron; he's gonna be too confused about what you're talking about. I mean, yeah, it's good for you to record this. It's the reality. If you all didn't know this, it's kind of sad. When is the last time Iron has said anything in this community Discord? Now, technically, yes, Iron could stop me, but like I've stated, it's like, guys, I don't think he would. I just don't. He's literally left this into my hands now. Like, we don't even talk anymore. The last time I talked to Iron was a month ago, and yet I'm still running his group. So if I were to just up and one day remove the house and say it's pointless, nobody can stop me. If I wanted to up and one day remove the court, nobody could stop me. Want to know why? Because it's not group ending. Because we were running really well without it, and we can still run well with it. But we were running really well without it. It's not like I'm killing the group. So Iron definitely would not give a shit. The only way Iron would care about if I did anything is if I cooed him. But he knows I'm not going to do that. That's straight up how it is. That's the only way Iron is ever going to stop it and do anything to try to remove me or anything such as that. Exactly what Pocho just said. He truly does not care. I can remove all of this stuff and still run the group really well, and he will act as if he never even heard of what it was. If you made him lose money, the CA doesn't profit anymore. No, you're not foreshadowing. Yeah, it's highly unlikely I would do anything corrupt. But I'm saying if I were to, who's gonna stop me? So let's stop living in this fantasy like, oh, this is above platinum. He can't do anything about it. Guys, I can do anything I want, especially to something I created.
What do you suggest?
I suggest you all trust me and just, your bill's not bad. Nobody can remove the house. But even if you put accept platinum or like any, or here, how should I word this? If you write this bill, you say no one can remove the house except Iron or 55% of the community vote, whatever. Right? Awesome bill. But then if I have to ever remove it myself, which I probably wouldn't, but that bill doesn't stop me from doing anything. So if you ask me, it's kind of pointless. You can write the bill to set the standard. Nobody can remove the house except the commanding general or the owner or 55% of the community vote. That's the way I would structure that bill. Yeah, what's up?
If we write the bill saying
Excuse
major
me.
generals cannot remove the house, and God went and did it, would you stop him?
Yeah. I stopped them from doing things on the regular because I want to have command of my army. That's simply what it is. I put in too much work for other people to step over me. So that's the way I would structure that bill. I'm just giving you all a little wisdom there because you can write all the things in the world telling me what I can't do, but I guess you all had made it aware to you that I can do anything. As corrupt and as bad as that sounds, right? I haven't betrayed that trust. So, but the thing is I can literally do anything and nobody will stop me. Nobody will care. Anybody over me will not care to stop me. That's simply how it is. So I just wanted to give you all that wisdom in that bill.
So, are you saying that you were officially vetoing this bill? Since you went on that whole rant, starting with that you don't like the bill?
Well, all right. I won't veto the bill. I just will ignore it. It won't be accounted for. So it's basically pointless. It makes it pointless. Reason being, because I just won't listen to it. I'm going to do whatever I want when I feel it benefits the army.
So the bill will go into place and you will not enforce it, is what you were saying.
Yeah. Now, if you wrote the bill saying nobody else other than me or Iron can remove, then I would enforce it. Like, if God suddenly were like, I don't like the house, let's get rid of it, I would enforce it and be like, no, you cannot do that, only I can.
Okay, one more question. Are you officially giving yourself ultimate power over pretty much anything you want to do? Just like officially?
You already have that now.
Yeah, I already have that.
Okay. Yeah, just checking. I want it like on record, you know? But yeah, just clarifying.
Well, I mean, it's clear because even I've started to put my say in development. And in none of my 6, 7, 8 years, however long it's been, I lose count at this point, I have never weaned in a little bit in development. So the fact that I'm just now starting to do that should let you know that I have command of the army. I always have, though. Like, not saying Iron has none. Iron's still the owner. He can come in and do whatever he wants. I'm just saying we haven't had a genuine conversation about the CA in months. Like, last time we had to talk about the CA was in April.
Yeah, okay. I just want that, like, clarified so I don't need to show the whole speech to prove your power, of course. But thank you. That's everything.
Okay.
I think it is pretty obvious what will happen with this bill. We shall just put that Plowed is exempt from this bill too, and that Major Generals shall be the ones to be and below to be enforced upon this bill.
This bill wants to add religion to the CA, which I voted no on because the whole argument is that this would add a reason to do a bunch of events like fighting each other and such. But there's already a reason to do that, which is just to have fun, so adding in religion would just not be necessary, and I honestly don't know why this was even an idea. I just believe that this is simply not necessary. I don't feel like I need lore when playing the CA, and I don't feel like I need any other purpose to just go into PRs. Just the main reason that religion is a thing, even if you believe in it or not, is to have something that people believe in. And we simply do not need that in the CA. If you want to believe in something, if you want a purpose to do things like fight each other in PRs or have season matches, it's just to have fun. You don't need religion for that. And again, I do not need lore in the CA. If people want to have lore groups, if people want to just start a religion, they can do that themselves. They do not. We do not need a bill for this. If people really want to have a religion, there's already buildings in place in Bunker Hill even for them to do so. And this does not have to be enforced on everyone. Even if the bill does not enforce it on everyone, still, people either would just not go along with it, or I don't see this working out well at all for the reasons listed. And yes, as Platt said, political parties are greater than religions. So, yes, that's what I have to say on this.
Okay. I ain't gonna lie, I don't got corona, but I got some type of shit. Like, it's bad. Anyways, not gonna lie, religions equal gay. All in favor. But I do have an alternative solution. I'm so smart, I swear. Just bow down to me, I'm your king. So look, what I think is, please don't edit that. Anyways, excuse me. If you create political parties, right, and they could become a real thing in the CA, and let me tell you why. So
I just said Luco DM me, you know Luco Poulos. Luco Poulos. He wants to know about the house.
Okay, anyways, back on topic. So what I was gonna say is, you create political. Excuse me, holy, I can't speak. You create political parties, but for them, so a lot of people, if you gave the option to just openly submit political parties, they would probably create some gay shit with different beliefs, like that, right? So if you had people officially create political parties, and the way they can only be listed by the CA is if they were voted into, I guess the word could be commissioned by the House.
Therefore, this bill shall be revised to a political party system bill. Therefore, trying to get everybody to unify under a certain political party. For this meeting has come to an end. We have discussed all bills. Now we will be doing closing arguments. Does anybody still wants to state something, make a comment, have a question for the commanding general, God, whoever?
Not a liar. We were both COs at one point, and I grew past you. You're my son. Eat my nuts. Blah blah blah.
I retired 4 times.
Eat my nuts. Look, guys. He's sucking my dick at him. Just bow down to me. I'm your king. I hate gay people. Please don't edit that.